Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for June 3rd, 2022. So pretty light week. Typically with the Monday holiday weeks, for whatever reason, the manufacturers don't load up the release schedule. So that in combination with the fact that you lose a shipping day has made for a relatively light week and probably going to be a quick video. I'll tell you guys some of the stuff I do have coming that is probably online now, but I just don't have it in time to show you for the actual filming. 2 Neil Young titles, the official bootleg series he's rolling out with, Royce Hall and Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. The Bill Evans, all analog cut by Kevin Gray at 45 RPM, You Must Believe in Spring. That's actually been really hot. That's been a really hot pre-order. Freddie Hubbard's Breaking Point, that is a tone poet, a Blue Note tone poet. And Gerald Wilson, Moment of Truth. That is not a Blue Note title. I want to say that is Pacific Jazz, but a tone poet owned by Blue Note's parent company. You know, it's a universal product. So those are probably available to order now, but I don't have them. And if you pre-order them, they're going to be shipping out very soon. Let me show you what I do have. A lot of restocks, and actually pretty desirable restocks this week. One SACD, Eric Clapton's Unplugged. The One Step is sold out. I have none, but the SACD is here. All right, one cassette. I do this period. I'm not a big cassette store. I do have cassettes. The old store I had a better setup for cassettes, but here I do have new cassettes in a case because they like to walk out the door. So you gotta lock them down. So yeah, Diamond Star Halos. This is Def Leppard's new album. You want to take a guess what this cassette cost? It's cheaper than a record. $22.99. Holy cow! But, you know, not surprising, but it is interesting nonetheless. This is a big restock. I have not seen Radiohead on vinyl in a very, very, very long time. We have Hail to the Thief. This is comical that I'm even showing this because it wasn't too long ago where it was like, you know, yeah, every Deftones I had, every radio I had, you know, these bands that are so Smashing Pumpkins, these bands that are becoming impossible to find their records, I had bins full of them, you know, and how times have changed, but yeah. Max Roach. Members Don't Get Weary. Let's see who listens. Gary Bartz, Charles Tolliver. This is done by Real Gone Music. No word on the mastering on this, so I can't comment to that. But yeah, there was actually 2 analog titles originally scheduled. The Roland Kirk Blackness, and I forget the other title. They were scheduled for this week. They got pushed back to the end of the month, you know, for reasons unknown. Let's see, Bob Moses, The Silence in Between. So yes, Angel Olsen, big time. There's 2 variations of this. There is the standard record, right? And then for $1 more, you can get the opaque pink indie exclusive. Normally they're the same price, or they're significantly more expensive. I've not seen it to where they're just $1 apart. Charlie Musselwhite, Mississippi Sun on Alligator. Man, I love that cover. Got, what is that, probably maybe a 1990, 91, 92 Cadillac Brougham. Yeah, that was a dream car of mine when I was a kid. I thought that was just right around the time cars started getting small and round. You know, I grew up in Florida, so you would see these everywhere, but these big caddies were still prevalent. All right, Christian Death. Death Wish. Splatter-colored vinyl. Kind of feels, what is that? Kind of feels like a double, but could be wrong. Could be a heavy single disc. So this would be the first, what is this, June? Beginning of June, we got a Halloween record. Get it now, because I guess Halloween, you won't find it. That is the case with all the holidays. Magnolia Park, Halloween mixtape. I don't know, this might not even be Halloween related, but there's a pumpkin, it's orange, there's a pumpkin there. I have no clue what this is, musically. Oh God, see, if there's ever a picture disc you'd want to own, it would be this RuPaul supermodel of the world, right? Because what could be better than you get RuPaul, put it on the table, and you shante, 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 right, as she spins around and dances. So, yeah, let's see. Features this single, Supermodel, You Better Work, House of Love, Back to My Roots, and Everybody Dance. But yeah, there you go. I'm sure this is actually going to be really popular. I've never seen a copy of this on vinyl. And I'm sure there's a calling for it. Let's see, what do we got here? Milk Jennings, debut album, produced by Sam Cohen. Sleep Talker. This is on Org Music. Money Man, Blockchain. Warning, big money may cause obsessive crypto disorder, addiction to hustling, allergic reaction to sucker, inappropriate words, and yeah, fluoresced on sea glass wave vinyl. Interesting. I have no clue. Somebody called me the other day. Hey, answer the telephone. Mike, someone's got a payment question for you. Yeah, no problem. Do you take Bitcoin? No, we don't take Bitcoin. The Mars Volta, remastered for vinyl using the original mixes. It says white and blue, so this might be a multicolored vinyl. I'm not sure. This is one that I've not had in an extremely long time. And actually, I thought this was out of print. I thought all these Org Diana Kralls were out of print. These are all analog, cut from the original master tape. And I'm guessing they just extended the series because this sticker is a little bit new. They were stamped before. But this is number 11,326. Live in Paris, mastered by Bernie Grundman from the original analog master tapes. Pressed at RTI on 45 RPM, 180 gram vinyl. This series is exceptionally good. There's two versions of this in print. There's the ORG, and then there's the standard Universal titles, I believe. You know, Verve, because it's a Verve product, which is owned by Universal. If you go on the website, you'll see ORG LP at the end. Those are the ones you want. Those are all analog. The other ones are more than likely, they're a lot less money, more than likely cut from digital file. George Scott, Find Someone to Love. First ever LP reissue of the absurdly rare 1970s Soul Funk Nugget. Features Jimi Hendrix on guitar on Sweet Thing. So this is so obscenely rare. I'm not familiar with this Funk Nugget, so I'm going to have to listen to that. That sounds right up my alley. This is just a late arrival. The Who, quick one, half-speed master. I know we've got Tommy coming up as a Abbey Road half-speed master soon. Let's see. This looks cool. There was another Pink Floyd title, and I was going to grab one, but I forgot to take one out of the system, and it sold out immediately. So I didn't get to hear the other one, but it was a tribute to Pink Floyd. And now we have a Psych tribute to The Doors, featuring the Black Angels, Elephant Stone, Dead Meadow, and Clinic. So essentially they're doing, you know, it's a tribute album. Let's see. LA Woman, Soul Kitchen, The End, Touch Me, Light My Fire, you know. Door songs. All right. A Story of Darkness in Light. Cadaver and Elder. This is on black vinyl. A boundary-breaking supergroup on a poetic journey through darkness and light. There you go. And they actually put the rating on there. It's like it's got its Yelp rating right on the record. Classic rock, rocks, and deaf forever. Of course, that doesn't really make any sense to me, but okay. And you can get your entire LP ABBA collection, minus Wembley, right? Because there's a couple concerts I don't think are in here, but every studio album from ABBA here in this box set. And yeah, perfect timing because right up to Voyage, their newest album. You see they're more popular, you know, when they started pumping out hits one after another, that late 70s, early 80s era of ABBA, you see those records pretty frequently. The first couple, Ring Ring and Waterloo, they're not actually very common, and I don't believe they're in print. But yeah, got a few more of these left, and I'll show you some analog restocks that came in this week. This upcoming week is going to be a huge restock week, but a lot of the stuff hasn't shown up yet. But my all-time favorite jazz record on my top 100 imprint analog records you should own list, Art Blakey's Moanin'. This is a dynamite record, and it should be in everybody's collection. I was at a gentleman's house. We were setting up his stereo system. He bought this record on my recommendation, but we're setting up his stereo system. Not really a jazz guy, right? But I wanted to grab something out of his collection that I was familiar with because I was wanting to make sure everything was dialed in correctly, right? So I put Art Blakey's Moanin' on, and his response to me was, boy, that's really good. It almost makes me want to listen to jazz, or something to that effect. But it's really good. This is a solid record. And if you are not a jazz fan, it might turn you. Another great all-analog, cut by Kevin Gray title, Art Blakey's Big Beat. One of the better values in audiophile records, in records period, right? Try finding sub $30 records anymore. It's getting more difficult. These are all analog, cut by Kevin Gray. I got Chet Baker, Lerner and Low, and It Could Happen to You. Chet Baker Sings, the other Chet Baker Sings. Not the Tone Poet, but both analog, tip-on jackets. I had Chet Baker, there was another Chet Baker title in this, but that sold out before I could even show you on video. I didn't get a ton of those in. So yeah. Tina Brooks, The Waiting Game. I got up, I'll show you in a minute here. Another Blue Note classic. Very great record. Very, leans R&B-ish. Donald Byrd's Places and Spaces. Heavily sampled record. Probably one of my top 10 favorite jazz records of all time. Kenny Burrell's Midnight Blue. Stevie Ray Vaughan covered Chitlin's Con Carne on this, from this record. Dynamite record. Kenny Burrell did it better. Feel free to leave your hate mail down below. But it's funny, every time I hear that Stevie Ray Vaughan record, every time Chitlin's Con Carne comes on, I immediately turn it off and put on Midnight Blue. Because it's like, the Kenny Burrell version is the way to go, and it's like, I can't, if I'm going to listen to this, I'm going to listen to Kenny do it. I got a partial restock from Sam Records. A little update on, there's a new title coming out, should have that hopefully somewhat soon, and the Donald Byrd, that was never officially fully released. So Sam has started dealing with the distributor, so things got a little bit pushed back and delayed, but right before the Donald Byrd shipped, right before they switched the distributor, he shipped the Donald Byrd, but apparently Sam, or Fred, hand-inspected every single title before he sent it out. And because of that, he caught a huge pressing defect on most of the orders, so a lot of those never even came. So we're still waiting on the final run from that. So there's a delay. But Chet Baker, these are just, I've showed you guys Sam Records before. It seems like everybody that buys one buys most of them. They're like the Tone Poet of France. These are studio albums. These guys would go over to France. They'd go to Europe. They would record these records. They were typically released there and only there, and then that was it. So these are studio albums from these musicians, but most people are not familiar with them because they are extremely difficult to find. They're all analog. He gets the original session photography, just like Music Matters, the Tone Poet. Flip back covers. They're just dynamite. One of my favorite labels, another Chet Baker series, another Chet Baker Quartet, Volume 1. Ron Albright Trio. I almost bought a copy of this in Europe when I was in the Netherlands, but it just wasn't clean enough for me. But this is like, if you're a French jazz dealer, this is a wall record for sure at that show. Great record. A couple of Verve series reissues. The Coltrane stuff always sells out extremely quick. Did this time, I got a restock of it. Duke Ellington and John Coltrane. And John Coltrane and Johnny Hartman. And once again, it's amazing how Bill Evans doesn't get talked enough about, really, I don't think, in the vinyl community, because I don't know, he's probably got, this man sells a lot of records to this day. Bill Evans always sells quickly. It's typically, everything is very hard to find. They always sell out. Bill sells. He's just he's a consistent seller. I mean, there's some guys that just sell well, right? John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Art Blakey, the jazz guys. You know, Grant Green is a great seller when it comes to jazz, but somebody that's never really talked about enough, Bill Evans. So from Analog Spark, Dave Brubeck. I'm pretty sure this is out of print. I'm going to double check this. Analog Spark is pretty much defunct. I think it was rolled into Universal. The Cranberries record that I highly recommended for years is out of print. I got a confirmation email on that. I am pretty sure this is as well. Dave Brubeck's Jazz Goes to College on Analog Spark. Probably cut by Kevin Gray. I think he did most of it, but I'd have to double check that. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be my last order of that title, and then that is going to go away as well. So, you know, get those while you can. Good luck finding clean. This came on, I want to say this was before the 6i. This was on like that maroon Columbia label, that mid 55, 54, 55, 56. Good luck finding a clean Brubeck Goes to College. In the wild, you probably die before it happens. Online, it's going to take a long time. It's not an easy record to find clean. All right, guys, check us out online, theingroove.com. Until next time.